Let's go to the beginning. Oh, not this beginning. This was 40 years ago. Just the beginning in 1999, end of the 90s, when I first came to Armenia, I felt myself like an eagle in the sky. But after a short period, I found myself, I'm looking like a fish in the water. Because I'm a painter, I'm a caricaturist, I'm an artist. So I was in my space. I felt very good with that atmosphere that's surrounding me. But I had a dream to become a filmmaker, and especially animation filmmaker. And I heard a lot that, before I come to Armenia, that in Armenia there's a more than 70 years old history of animation. And my imagination wouldn't go further than this, because I was in love with Walt Disney. So I thought I would find myself in Armenia and become the future Disney. But it turns out, and lucky me, and we, at the end of the day, that we can go further than this. So I started to work by myself. I had some colleagues to learn from them and started to realize my dream. But after a short period, as a startup animator, I faced the burden reality, which was lack of the professionals and colleagues with them who I can build a studio or animation company in Armenia. And there are questions raised in my head, and I start to think deeply that should I really leave the country, Armenia, because I really want to stay young and alive, of course. And I start to think, should I leave Armenia to go find a job in animation field, somewhere that I keep working, because as they say in Armenia, աշխատանքը քերեսկացում է մարդուն, because the work and job makes the man more beautiful. So I had to decide, should I live with the history, or should I live in Armenia? But how? And to keep myself young as much as possible. So then the decision came to my head that I have to stay in Armenia, young and alive. And I have to create my own opportunity and future in Armenia. And not only for me, for myself, for the whole new generation of young animators who want to come and live in Armenia, maybe from diaspora, maybe here in Armenia. And of course, it was a serious decision, and I decided to stay in Armenia, in Yerevan. And that was my choice. That was my decision. Finally, as I made my decision, I had to find out the best way to bring all these things together. Because having a production, it's not the same as you have industry. Because if you have a production, you produce 1, 2, 3, 4 films a year as a country or as a company. But industry means it's turning wheel around as economic as well, helps you to make more, maybe more financial gain, and the field gets much better as an industry, not only as a production. And I heard this very nice say. Women in Armenia, they used to say, in general, of course, if you want to stay young, give a birth of a baby. And after hard work, hard thinking for 9 months, I had the first sperms in my head that I can have my baby, my own baby, which was the chosen one, ReAnimania, International Animation Film Festival. It's nice baby, yes? If you agree with me. Thank you. But it wasn't that easy to bring all these things together 3 years ago, because it started all 5 years ago, actually. And it was just an idea, just a thought, and then the idea became an act. And I don't know if I had the chance to go back 5 years ago, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same thing. But I'm very proud of it. And to have a baby, in general, we use in Armenia, or Armenians, they used to have godfather for future kids to cover the expenses, the supports, etc. But lucky Max Howard, he didn't have to cover expenses. We covered the expenses of his travel, of course. But the idea was, as a godfather, we need someone who is very active in the industry to support us in networking and rebuilding the animation film industry. And he was the most active person in the field that I met in 2008. And as a godfather, he didn't know that I was pregnant with the idea. And I was convincing him to come to Armenia and to run production coaching workshop for new generation producers, Armenian producers. And his question was very simple. What do you have there? And my answer was even simpler. I told him, we have almost 70 years old history of animation, but no industry. I was honest and direct with him. I didn't lie, say, oh, we have a lot of production going on, and etc., etc. No, I was very honest. And he liked the idea, and he said, I like the idea. I'm jumping in, I'm coming. And the trouble started there. And from where we started, as I said, from nowhere. I hadn't basic idea from where to start to build this festival, because festival in our cases, in this region mainly, as there's no industry, is the best way to bring people together, to combine them, to make them to come under the one umbrella, ReAnimania it is or anything else, to talk together, to find the best solution for the country, which has no industry. And it was really blocked way for us as a ReAnimania festival creators. But from there, we reached here. First International Animation Film Festival in 2009 with full program, competition program, institutional program, and most important, market of animation in it. Why ReAnimania? Why we called it ReAnimania? It has a very simple and very difficult reason. Because to reanimate, to rebuild, to reboot the industry, and also the logo, actually, it was nice because if you check it back again, from foreigners in general, our international friends, when they used to read ReAnimania, they used to read Armenia, and they were happy with that. You know, they find something interesting in it. And the first launch was in 2009, after 9 months, as I said. So inviting individuals like Max Howard, Yoshi Tamura from France, the best-known animator, 3D animator, Frank Gladstone from United States, Artman Company, Nick Park, and David Sproxton, these huge names was kind of much easier because, you know, there's Khorovats, there's Cognac. You convince them somehow, come and join us for a nice dinner. Of course, we do work together as well. But ReAnimania needed a very serious foundation to get support. Some foundation organization that must believe in ReAnimania. Because ReAnimania is not just an event that we can get together and eat and have a dinner and go back home. So what we did, we approached ANSI, one of the most famous international animation film festival in the world. ANSI International Animation Film Festival in France. And because ANSI, they have all the agenda that we wanted to have in the future. They have very strong strategy to build industry, not only to have a showcase, to entertain people. And ReAnimania needed such a very serious, important partner in. Partner, yes, because the first days, they really didn't want to become partner. They said, we don't partner any startup festivals or in general any festivals. And lucky we, this year, when they sent us their A4 ad to publish it in our catalog, they said, in the email it was written, we are sending you our partnering ads for your catalog. For our surprise, we were very happy. And we became friends. And honored, and we were very honored. For the third year as the International Startup Festival, they invited our artistic director, Ms. Kassarjian, as a jury member in the festival, which was very important for us. Many festival directors or artistic directors, they dream such an opportunity, and we had it because they saw our agenda, how serious we were. And most important, they found us as a bridge between East and West, and where the journey began with ReAnimania. And this was our symbol for the third edition. We are not only animation film festival, we also a bridge, which joins in the East and the West. It's a very important issue. To invite celebrities to get the spots on you and everybody talks about you, like Angelina Jolie. And this was very serious for us because new festival has very important issues, financial issues. People they didn't want, till now, they didn't want to jump in and to support the festival because there's no celebrities in it. As Angelina Jolie. I would jump in, why not? But instead, we decided to not go through these tricks and to stay on our words as festival organizers, because I myself an animator, and I know what is most important for me and for my friends and colleagues in the field. So we created the festival. Mainly the most important part in it was the institutional part. All the guests who came to Armenia, they spent without any exaggeration, more than 8 hours a day working hard with the students or participants to train them to become high-quality animators for the future of animation field in Armenia. And beside the showcase and the institutional program, we created Marani. Marani, Market of Animation. And this Market of Animation is going to run once to 2 years. And it is very important because, first of all, we had this kind of formula 5 years ago when I started the festival. Local friends, Armenian animators and friends, they used to say, like in these terms, that do really the international platform, animation platform, need us to become a partner or to play in the same field in the industry? And I was convincing them. It was very hard. My colleague, my artistic director of the festival, she remembers some people we had to meet them twice a week to explain them about the important role of ReAnimania in the region and the market of animation in the region. And after 3 years, many of them, they came back to me 2 weeks before the festival asking me, can you explain me what is the market of animation for? Why we do need that? And at the end, when I convinced them by 5 and more applications from international partners willing to come to Armenia to exhibit and sell their products in Armenia for other clients, they had this will. My friends, locals, they used to say, now, do we need this? Mezbetka? So this was very weird. So we convinced them, yes, we need. If you want to become international, if you want to keep your country young, you can't survive with the history books. 70 years old animation history doesn't help us anymore. We need a young, energetic generation to work, not to tell history anymore. So that's why we convinced them that yes. But the most important thing now, after all, each organization or foundation, when they create something crazy like this, and they don't have financial support, they must have crazy team, impossibly beautiful, energetic, enthusiastic. Any words you can help me to give more? Dynamic team. And I would like, first of all, of course, to use this opportunity to thank Vrej Kassouny, because from the very first day, when I told her about the idea of ReAnimania, and she didn't know that we are not going to have financial support, she jumped in. I sold my flat. I sold my flat. It's not a secret. Everyone knows that. To save ReAnimania. And she spent, and her husband, they spent a lot of money to save ReAnimania. Without them, I wouldn't make it, but we have a huge young team standing behind us. We owe them. Without them, and many people are not in the pictures now, in the picture now. Without their support, ReAnimania wouldn't be ReAnimania, and one of the most important animation film festivals on the map of the festivals in the world. And of course, at the end, life is beautiful, isn't it? If you know how to create it, how to keep it beautiful, you can do it. And because life is combined by images, picture, and we believe not any picture without life doesn't worth anything. So the secret is in us, in our soul. Just bring life to the picture and everything will be much beautiful. And ReAnimania's motto is, life is a picture, make the picture alive. Join our motto, be our guest next year in 2012. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.